This is Paul Michael Davis, MCTVLive.com, here at Lewisburg High School with Coach Kyle Littrell. Coach, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, we had a question. Baldwin, how'd they match up?
Well, they're big and physical and have been for many years. They like to run the ball, and kind of lull you to sleep and then try and hit you with the play-action pass. But they're going to try and run off tackle behind their big kid. The Gaylord kid that's about 6'8", 290, 295, and they got some quality linemen to go along with him, and they got some really good, hard downhill running backs.
Yeah. So now, coming off a tough loss last week at Paola, coming down in the last quarter, you had them, but what went wrong?
To me it was a multitude of things. We tell our kids that we want them to play hard every play, and the reason why is because there's about 5 or 6 plays during the course of a game that determine the outcome. Mm-hmm. The beautiful thing about it is you never know when those 5 or 6 plays are going to happen, so it's important to play hard every play. But we got down early and we dug our own self that hole because we decided that we didn't want to align properly on defense, and we didn't want to play or match their physical style of play for about the first third of the game. Mm-hmm. And then we decided to put a little drive together right before halftime, come out in the third quarter, tie it up 14-14, and then they did a fantastic job of playing keep away from us. There were times where they got up 20-14, we got the ball back, had to punt it to them, and then they chewed up a lot of time, and they did a great job, even though they didn't score on that last drive, but they did a great job of eating up clock and didn't leave us with a lot of time. We drove the ball down there at the end, and you know what? Their kid made a fantastic play. He stayed disciplined in his zone that he was supposed to cover, and my hat's off to him for making a great play.
Yeah. All right, so now going into a Baldwin this week, having a record of 2-2, is there any pressure?
There's always pressure, yeah, and a lot of it is self-inflicted, I don't feel pressure outside from administration or community or anything like that. I'm my own harshest critic. So, I put plenty of pressure on myself to do a better job of coaching, try and fix some mistakes that were visible from last week, and, just go out with a positive attitude and try and get better every day at practice, and hopefully that relays to the game on Friday.
Now, the young men, what is their, what is the resolve of the team? How are they feeling?
Student announcements.
We'll talk over it. So what is the resolve of the kids, of the young men? Are they feeling positive? Are they feeling going in this, you need to get back on track and get this win and go straight again?
Yeah, my message to the kids on Friday night and Monday morning was just simply, we're the ones responsible for digging ourselves this hole. Mm-hmm. And nobody else is going to come and grab the shovel and help dig us out of this. So it's up to us to work through this, stay together as a team. Mm-hmm. We set goals at the beginning of the year, and the only goal that is not attainable or reachable is undefeated. Yeah. The league's championship is still there, a district championship is still there, deep playoff runs, winning playoff games, and ultimately a state championship is still alive. So, it's about the same thing as last week. If you can't get geared up and jacked up and ready to play Paola and or Baldwin, then maybe you need to look yourself in the mirror and find out why you're out for football.
Yeah, that's back to back. That's two major ones back to back.
Yeah.
So coming into this, as we went over at the game, last week's game, what are the positives? What are the on the optimistic side, what are the plus points that the kids are really getting into?
Well, last week we went into Paola's game with 5 offensive line starters that had not played that position the week before. Mm-hmm. We made 2 changes as far as new personnel, but we made 5 total changes. So really? I knew that offensive line would probably not gel together. It's game 1 for them basically again instead of game 4.
Yeah.
so I'm really excited about, we rushed for 122 yards, which isn't a lot, but it's put together with the 175 that we had passing. I'm really excited about our passing game. That was our quarterback's first game back from having to sit out, and I think that if our offensive line can continue to grow and we can get a few of these young running backs to understand to put their foot in the ground and go north and south instead of east and west, I think we're going to be a better football team.
That's good. So now, you still have ways before the playoffs, but you still get your eyes set on that state championship. What is one of the plus sides going into the playoffs?
Well, one of the plus sides of going into the playoffs is, everybody starts 0-0.
Yeah.
And we have new district alignments this year, and in our district, it's Sumner Academy, Bishop Miege, and Spring Hill. And, I don't know a ton about Sumner Academy, but I do know that they probably have some talent and some speed. Bishop Miege is a Class 4A team that is playing Class 5 and 6A teams and just kind of mopping the floor with everybody there. But you know what? Our philosophy here at Lewisburg is we'll play anybody, anytime, anywhere, and wherever the dice fall, they fall. And if it's a win, it's a win. If it's a loss, it's something that we can learn from and get better from, and go from there. But final game of the season is Halloween night against Spring Hill, and typically the last 2 years they've got it rolling towards the end of the season and made the playoffs. And last year they got their first playoff win in 10, 11 years. And Coach Orick's doing great things over there, and the kids are starting to buy in. So, you know what? If you make it to the playoffs out of our district, you've earned it, and you're battle tested. And I think that's a great thing for anybody that comes out of our district.
We'll kind of ended on this. You brought it up yourself. I was about to mention it, but the split for the 4A class. How do you feel about that, and how does that adhere to your plan, and how does that go against your plan?
Well, my thoughts about it are there's nothing I can do to determine anybody's enrollment or anything like that. Do I think it's fair? It's not for me to say.
Yeah.
We just line up and play whoever's on our schedule. And you know that when it comes to a team like Miege, if you go in and think that they're the almighty, you're going to get beat.
Yep.
And if you go in there thinking, hey, I've got to play the perfect game, you're going to get beat.
Yep.
I just want our kids to go into the game saying, you know what, we can win this game.
But
it's going to be tough, and we're going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, if we play our style of ball, I think we can be very successful against them.
That's good news. All right, this has been Paul Michael Davis, Coach Kyle Littrell, here at the Lewisburg High School Gymnasium, coming at you right before the Baldwin game on Friday. And we'll see you soon.